Hello everyone, welcome to the third video of PHP tutorial series, and in this video we are going to talk about the data types of PHP. So in the previous video we have seen that the variables can store different type of data. There are a total of 8 primitive data types in PHP. There are string, integer, float, or it may also be called as double. There are Boolean, array, null, object, and there is another one called resource. But that is kind of advanced stuff and not very important in this stage, so we are just going to ignore that. So let's talk about these 7 data types of PHP. So let's create a variable here. So in order to do that, we need to use the $sign because PHP variables start with a $sign. Now we need to use an quotation mark, either single quote or double quote, to apply an string data type. Okay, so everything inside a quote should be considered as a string. So let's give this variable a value. Now we can see the type of this variable by using either var dump or get type. So let's use the get type here. Let's put the variable name, which in this case is a. But remember one thing, you may find it helpful in the later stage, that in most of the cases of PHP and WordPress, if we find anything with the get, then most of the time it will just return a data but not echo it. So if we just save it and refresh it, it is not going to show anything in here. So we need to echo the type. Okay, so let's echo this, save and refresh. Now we can see this is an string. Now let's create a bear tag here to push to keep a line gap between the next thing. So now this is an string. Now let's talk about the integer. Okay, the integer are kind of a full number. Now it can be only one digit or multiple digit, it doesn't actually matter, but it should not have a decimal point, like there should not be any dot here. Okay, so let's create a variable named b and give this a value, and integer don't need any quotation mark, the quotation is only for the string type. Okay, so let's give it a random value of 20. Now we can again get type b. Let's save and see. So this is an integer. Now if we give a dot here, it should not be an integer. Okay, let's just copy this and let's say we want to name this c and give this a point value like 20.65 maybe. Let's save and we need to replace it. Let's refresh, it is a double. Okay, so float or double. If we use var dump instead of get type here and use this c variable, let's see, it will return as a float. Okay, now we have already learned about 3 data types: string, integer, float or double. Now let's talk about the next one, which is Boolean. So the Booleans are two possible states, either true or false. So I'll just copy this again, and there are only 2 types of variable. It can be either true or it can be false. Now if we get type this, so it is the variable d and also e. Let's see, so it is a type of Boolean. Okay, now the next one we got here is the array. The PHP array is kind of a storage of multiple values in one single variable. So we can store multiple values in a single variable by using an array. So let's see it by practical. So I can maybe declare a variable. Let's name it languages, and we can give this a value of array. In order to declare an array, you just need to type array, then first bracket, and we need to put the values inside it. So we can put different type of values. It can be either string, integer, float, everything. Okay, so let's use the strings here. Let's say PHP, put a comma, and as this is an string, you need to code this with a quotation. I'm going to use the double quotation here. PHP, HTML, CSS. Let's save. And now if we use the get type here, and save this, we can see that this is an array. We actually need to echo the beer tag here, otherwise we cannot understand it. Okay, so you can see this is an array. Now let's talk about the next data types, which is null. So null is a special type of data that has only one value, and which is null. And you need to keep in mind that it should be at the capital. So all of the letters here should be in the capital, because this is kind of case sensitive. Okay. So you can declare a variable here. Let's name it, I don't know, let's see. Okay, and we can give this a value of null. And now if we try to echo this, echo and get type, it will return, sorry, it should be lowercase. Let's save, and as you can see, the data type is null. Now the last one we got here is the object. The object is kind of advanced topic, and if you're familiar with the object oriented programming, then you already know what an object is. Object oriented programming has two things mainly. The first one is the class and then the object. So class is kind of a template for the object, and object is an instance of that class. So that's why in order to create an object, we need to create a class first. So let's create a class. Let's name it something like bike maybe. And inside the curly braces, we can put different type of data like variable, function, everything inside a class. And now we are going to create an instance of this class. So how to do that? For that, at first we need to declare a variable. Let's name it object maybe, and we can create a new class, which is in this case is the bike. So we got a new object here. It has created a new instance of this class, which is currently empty. Now if we return this by using the get type, let's save and refresh, we can see that this is an object. So these are the data types of PHP, and in the next video we are going to talk about the PHP constant. So see you there.